Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm Abe with MysticGenMara.com, a small town mystic from the middle of Idaho. And tonight, whenever you happen to be seeing this, I would like to offer your elemental energy reading in the area of love and romance for the elemental energy of air. And this is for April of 2026. Air covers the zodiac signs of Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. So if you're Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius, or have air high up in your chart, then this message is for you. If you've never had your charts done, there is a link in the description. It's not an affiliate link or anything like that. It's just a resource that I've used before. If you're interested, you can check it out. It gives you your base 12 houses with all the little signs and symbols, and then there's a 10 to 20 page description of what all that means, because there's a lot there, even if it's a basic chart. There's a lot of information. The other links for the cards that I'm using, those are affiliate links, so that does help the channel out if you want to click on those and check out the cards. With that, we will get started. How I like to do my relationship readings is we look at the singles first, then we look at the couples, and we figure out which chakra is lighting up and what specific lesson is being brought forward at that point. We look at a Whispers of Love Oracle to kind of get an idea of what kind of supporting energy is coming in for you, and then we look at the tarot for a little bit more clarification. So, for our air singles, you are starting off with the energy number 41, which is concentration, and this one looks a little wild, and it could be a Kali energy. I'm not sure. We'll look in the book here in a second, but what I'm getting with this is it's time to really get clear, get focused. It's not a time to like, oh, I'll just put out this random thought and let the universe. They're wanting you to put in the focus on this. Get clear on what it is you're working on. And I'm pretty sure this is going to be their third eye area, but we'll find out here in a second. But the energy I'm getting right now is just saying it's time for you to use your natural gifts, air, because that is kind of your thing, and get clear, focus, get concentrated, make the decision is what I'm hearing. Like you're kind of wandering around singles going, maybe, maybe not, I don't know. And it's like, come on, guys. So let's take a peek here. We are in our third eye energy. And this deity is Kalaratri. This is the most fierce manifestation of the Durga, which is the goddess of strength. She holds in one of her hands the sword of wisdom. Her club-like hook has the power to sever the ego's iron hold on self. She is worshipped as a goddess of protection who can scare away troubles, ghosts, and goblins of negativity. That's kind of a fun name. Our keywords here are concentration, focus, learning a mental skill. This is you, air. Being alert in the present, and diving into life on a deeper and more spiritual level. So air, you are really being called to get clear. Cut away the stuff that does not work because it's really not helping you in the relationship world. But it's also saying if you're comfortable being single, great. But get clear on why. It's not someone else's deal. This is your call to reflect. What's going on that has either helped you step away from looking for a relationship or has made you have that longing for a relationship, because they want you to understand yourself better and get clear on that, cut away the stuff that doesn't work. Because if you're ready for the relationship in one sense, it could be just that time to do some reflection, figure out what needs to be taken out so that you can move forward. But you also have this pattern and energy coming in with removing the negative, like she said, the ghosts and goblins of negativity. It's time to maybe move some of those out. Like if you have negative responses to relationships, this could be a good month to figure out what's going on behind the scenes. You might solve all your problems in 1 month, you might start the process, but either way, this is a good time to start examining what's going on there. Your message from the Whispers of Love is, I love you. These are powerful words. With that, I'm going to go back to a Louise Hay exercise here. Go to the mirror. What number are we at? We're at 20. Go to the mirror and look yourselves in your eyeballs right here. And say to yourself, I love you. Say it 25 times. Say it 30 times. Because the first 5 or 6, it's going to be really uncomfortable to look yourself in the eye and say that. You're going to feel goofy. You're going to feel embarrassed. You're going to feel ashamed. Keep going. Do it for 25 to 30 times. If you look away, that's fine. Go back to it and keep counting up. Because there's something about affirming that you actually do love yourself opens the doors to other forms of relationships, of other forms of compassion and appreciation. And that's what they're wanting to bring forward for you, is clearing out the stuff that doesn't work includes the self-negative talk. So Air, if that's something that happens to you as a single, maybe it's time to kind of free yourself from that. Go over and remind yourself, no, actually I am worthy of love. I am worthy of this because I am a child of the divine, and that allows you to get more clear, get that concentration going in the right direction. But it also casts off the ego's manipulation of trying to keep you in the mud. So your first tarot is the Eight of Fire. Events moving at a fast pace, delays are over, many things happening at once. So Air, you are amazing at multitasking. This is kind of your thing, as well as the intelligence and the logic and the reason, because you enjoy the mental stimulation it gives you. The Eight of Fire is saying this month things are going to be moving pretty quick. And that's where this concentration, this focus, getting clear on who you are as a person, what you need to get rid of, and that allows you to move forward, because what they're saying is you have a lot happening. This isn't going to be a mild month for our Air families, especially the singles in April. It's going to be a lot of work going on, and it could be outside and inside, but one reflects the other. So whatever's going on outside is going to be reflected inside, and what you're doing inside is going to reflect out. So the Eight of Fire is saying be expecting a little bit of chaos, but it's chaos that you've actually been needing to deal with or trigger so that you can get to that next level. Your second card is the Knight of Air, which is your energy. Intelligent, decisive, idealistic, and tireless. Events occurring at speed. That's funny. Time to take careful review of your options and creative solutions. So you have two cards here for your tarot that are saying, Air, this is not going to be a time for laziness. This is not a time for relaxation for you. Stuff is happening really fast. And that's where you want to make sure you're clear on what it is you're going for. Get that third eye concentration, get that intuition, bringing in the clarity that you need. Take out the stuff that doesn't work. If you're not sure what you need to remove, this is a great time to reach out to Source and be like, okay, I know that I am single, which is fine. And if you want to stay that way, that's fine too. And you know that there's something going on that's not quite where you would like it to be. So you're asking Source to give you the clarity to understand yourself better. And when you do that, notice the shift that occurs in a very short period of time in most cases. Not always. Sometimes Source is like, you've got to, you have to wait, you have to learn. And when those ones come up, it's more of a testing your patience thing. And Air, you've got this. You know how to deal with patience. This is your energy, so go with that. But what I'm hearing is this is the greatest time for you to get clear. The summer's going to bring some events, is what I'm sensing right now. And if you can get clear now and start to adjust this stuff out, your next steps, whether you're single or you happen to bump into that perfect someone, it's going to be a lot better for you because you're more clear on who you are and how you show up in the world. So with that, we'll hop over to our Air couples. This could be for you who have air high in your chart. It could be for your partner, or between the two of you, you have a lot of air in the charts altogether. But before we get into the actual reading, if you see something different in the cards, feel free to comment down below. Let me know your thoughts, feelings, and impressions. I read intuitively, so it's interesting to hear what other people have to say when it comes to intuition with the cards. Also, while you're down there, hit that like button, subscribe if you're new, and let me know what your other things you want to see on the channel. I'm always open to new ideas and new suggestions, so we will go into that. And we're just shuffling the cards to get the last card for our air couples. There we go. And your first card, which is your chakra, you have number 14 with sensitivity. I believe this is going to be your sacral chakra, but we'll double check. 14 with sensitivity. Right off the bat, you have an alligator or a crocodile right here. I'm not sure which yet. But it's saying be open, pay attention to your senses, and don't harden your heart in your relationship. Don't harden things so callous that you can't see the other person's perspective, is what I'm hearing right off the bat. They're also saying with sensitivity, it's about coming to an understanding, a little bit of empathy here as well, where you can see the other person's situation. Even if you don't agree with it, you can see it, and it helps you understand it better. Because Air, I'm feeling like for air couples, there's something going on here that has been a little unpleasant for the last little bit. And it's just time to kind of open that door and be like, okay, what's going on with with my partner? Is there something that I'm doing? Is there something that we're not talking about? What needs to be brought into the light? And be compassionate with each other. And that's showing that sensitivity energy. And we are in our sacral chakra, which is the second one. And the creature here is the crocodile. This aquatic beast of water is known as Makara. It is linked with sexual vitality and the volatile, slippery nature of sensuality. He carries on his back the seed sound of Vang, that when hummed increases circulation in the bodily fluids and tempts the kundalini to rise. So what is going on here is there's a blockage somewhere. And so you're trying to stimulate the kundalini, and that can be done in a couple situations through the use of specific tantric arts if you are interested in that. Keywords here are focusing on sentiments, learning from others, air energy, sensuality, balancing the nectar of love and difficult relationships, and overreaction to emotions. So you don't want to be too hyper emotional, but you do need to understand how the other person feels. And if you are closing yourself off, interesting. If you're closing yourself off because, well, I don't want to burden them with my nonsense because it's just so stressful and blah, blah, blah. They're your partner. If you can't trust them to help with this kind of stuff, the trust is not as strong as you would like it to be. And so this is where you work together. And the other part of that is if your partner is entrusting you with information like their emotions or struggles with depression or anxiety or whatever it is, you also show the compassion back. And that's one of those things where you never use that against them. That's just, you're in a relationship, you work together with each other, and you clear the air so that that kind of stuff becomes a bonding experience, not a weapon. Don't ever weaponize that kind of stuff. Very, very, very bad. But what I'm hearing with this one is be more sensitive to each other's needs, wants, and opinions. It doesn't mean you have to agree with them on everything, because that's boring as heck. But you do have to respect them, because you are in a relationship. I mean, that's why you're watching this part of the video. So your whispers of love is turn on your heart light, reflect on a time when you experienced love. If it's been a little bit of time where you just kind of have been existing with each other, time to go back to date nights. Time to go back with spending time together. Time to go back to learning and experiencing and enjoying each other emotionally, physically, and mentally. Turning on your heart, getting clear into your heart chakra. I know your card is sensitivity, which is your sacral. Your sacral is all about a connection to the outside world, reproduction, growth, expansion, very much an amorous or sexual nature chakra. But this card is saying that's important, but make sure you're doing it with the heart open, because that's going to allow your bonding to increase. And that's what I keep hearing for our air couples is there is this call to reconnect with each other and be more open to the relationship. I just kept seeing some images, but it's really about getting clear and focused on where you're at and how you want to show up to your partner and how your needs are met with your partner. So that's what you want to do. By turning on your heart light, you can see that more clearly. So your first tarot is the Knight of Air, which is awesome because Air Singles had this one. Intelligent, decisive, idealistic, and tireless. Events that occur with speed. Take time to review your options. Creative solutions. So if there's been struggles, if there's been trials, if there's been something going on that has not been brought to the open, this is the time to do it. Be in a position of sensitivity, be open with compassion, and allow yourselves to have that conversation, because things are shifting for you, air couples. Just like with singles, you're being brought into a fast track lane of experience. And I'm hearing that this is going to be a lot of fun for you, but it's one of those things where you want to be on the same page with each other. And that's what the Knight of Air is bringing forward for you, is with that intelligence, with that decisive nature, get clear, vocalize, understand the other person, come to an agreement, and move forward, because this is what's being called forth for you this month. Your second card is number 13, Release. This is the Death card, I believe, in traditional tarot, with Archangel Azrael. The end of a phase or situation, spiritual transformation, time to move on, time to let go of the past. Air couples, there might have been some bickering, there might have been some hiccups, there might have been some frustration. but it's because of lack of communication is what I'm hearing. That's why this push to talk, to come into union, to get into an alignment with each other, be sensitive and show compassion. These are important aspects of what I'm hearing with this particular situation here. So whatever's going on, air couples, this is your time to release the past. Let it go. Learn your lessons. You'll never live forgetting those. But don't tote the emotions with you. They really are not helping you in this in this particular situation, whatever that is that you've got going on here. But what I'm getting for air couples through all of this is reconnect. Remember what brought you two together. Remember that emotion, the butterflies, the thrill up your spine, whatever it was that bonded the two of you together in the first place. Go back to that energy. Cling to that type of energy, because that's what's going to help you going forward. And turning on your heart light. I just keep going back to this because A, it's a beautiful card, but connect from the heart. The sacral is what's lighting up where your lessons are, but to understand the sacral better and to activate that particular energy, the heart needs to be open as well, and that's allowing you to see more clearly the other person in their energetic form, their purest form. And that also allows for the freer transmission of emotions, thoughts, and ideas. That way you can get into a more aligned state with each other. Again, you're probably not going to agree on everything. That's fine. You're human. But getting into a state where we love each other because of our differences as well is really important with this going forward. So with that, I will let you guys and gals go. I hope you have a great month of April. It looks like both air singles and couples have a little bit of work to do. Nothing major, but a little bit of work. But the reward at the end, it's definitely going forward with big time positivity. But you have to go through some mud to get to there first. So hopefully everything works out. Well, it will, because Source is coming in. Work with Source as much as you can. That helps with all this too. And if you need outside help and intervention, seek that out. It's not a bad thing. So I will talk to you guys later. Have a great rest of your month, and I'll see you in the next video.